Valentino's virtual world. More than 300 garments and thousands of other exhibits can be seen around the clock in the Valentino Garavani Virtual Museum. The Italian designer has memorialized himself with the museum and reworked almost his entire archive digitally. The press conference at the launch was, fittingly, carried live on YouTube.
But you know, it's very difficult for me to say which one I love, which one I like. You know, they are like my children, so.
The admission ticket is a free program which you can download from the museum's website. You can use your mouse to move through the three-dimensional rooms. In reality, they'd cover an area of about 10,000 square meters. One of the highlights is a hall with 63 gowns in the famous Valentino red. There are also custom-made dresses, like the one for Jackie Kennedy's wedding to Aristotle Onassis. Berlin-based sociologist Stefan Huber says a virtual museum is a logical step in the development of the museum landscape. He's been studying the digitization of our society for years.
I think the great advantage is the way it individualizes the experience. I can structure it in terms of time and space, so I can enjoy it when, where, and in whatever way I want. I can request a short film or explanation of an exhibit. I can move around interactively. And that's much more individual than going through a non-digital museum in a group.
Conventional museums also use the digital world and its opportunities. Some of the world's most renowned museums, such as New York's Museum of Modern Art, Berlin's Gemäldegalerie, and the Uffizi in Florence, present themselves and their collections online. But Valentino Garavani takes it a step further. At 79, he's dispensed with a real museum and only presents his fashions virtually, which is clearly the more affordable option. Valentino left the fashion scene in 2008. For 50 years, his name had been synonymous with elegance and luxury.
One thing that I always insist to do is to make women looking beautiful. When I go out, I am quite attentive to see what people they like, what people they dislike. This is very important. So when you prepare something, you design and you say to yourself that this, a girl, she's going to love it, yes or not?
In 1968, Valentino presented a collection that was all white. In the museum, you can look at fashion spreads from the past or a performance in 2010 by the Vienna State Ballet, for which Valentino designed the costumes.
I've noticed that fashion designers tend to stylize themselves as artists who create not just fashions, but entire lifestyles. And the digital world has a place here, so this logically fills a gap. What's more surprising than the fact that Valentino started this now is that others haven't done it more intensively already.
The museum is financed without outside funding. It doesn't just present fashion, it also gives glimpses into the private world of Valentino and his longtime partner, both in business and in private life, Giancarlo Giametti.
I think that the designer who had so much, like we had, like Valentino had, has to give back. And to give back to whom? Yes, to the fans who can see what he has done, but especially to young generation if they want to learn maybe something that Valentino has to teach them.
And there's a room devoted to just that. Using 10 different dresses, Valentino explains his working methods and gives valuable tips.
In 50 years, if we are all there, or in this room, you have the possibility to see many other virtual museums. Then certainly new designer they do, so you see how the fashion goes.
Valentino Garavani, a fashion designer who has set standards in the past and wants to continue to do so with his virtual museum.